Food. First thing that comes to mind is salmon, fish. I love fish. All that, any kind of fish, pretty well. Yeah. And of course, you got to put pizza on the list. Oh, I'm summer. I'm on water, boating. Yeah. And I like winter because I go down south because I'm directly on the ocean. I read. Well, I don't read anymore. I listen. Everything's podcast and Audible books right now. I don't do much reading where I'm actually picking it up physically doing it. I play piano. I hang out with friends. In a cards group with guys. I exercise regularly. So, that's something I do. There's been so many seasons that I've been through because I've been practicing for what am I up to? What, 44 years now? So probably for me right now, the evaluation process. I've got a lot of years of cracking the code with people. The best thing is when someone comes in and they just don't know what's going on. They've been to multiple therapists, they've tried multiple medications, they've seen multiple doctors, and they're stuck because none of it's really working. So I get to be Dr. Sherlock Holmes, so to say. And I put together an evaluation that really does, by the end of it, I'd say we cracked the code. The feedback I get from people is, I've never heard this before. I've never had someone explain it this way. And you've been looking at the back door of my life. And what I ask for is I want to ring 3 bells with you, especially if it's a parent that I'm working with, because I do a lot of evaluations with the kids and the teens. I want to ring the bell in your head intellectually. This rationally, neurologically, intellectually, academically makes sense. The other bell I want to ring is your heart, and the third one is your gut. I want you to go, you know what? This makes total sense what he's saying about our kid, as well as if I'm working with an adult. And then from there, and then we can talk about, okay, let me tell you everything that's going on in 2025 to come alongside you and to be able to get free. Oh man, I've always been a people helper. I originally was going to be a pastor. When I became a Christian, back then, you were all given a Bible, the way, and you were given a guitar. And that's what we all did in the 70s. But my heart's desire was really just to help people. And then as I got more into ministry, I had an opportunity to work in a church, and I thought, it's not me. And then I heard about psychology and being able to help people. My first master's is in working with people who are disabled and have strokes, neurological, brain trauma, etc. So I did that for a handful of years. And then someone was calling me. More people, pastors were calling me saying, hey, do you do this kind of counseling, this kind of counseling? I'm thinking, no, I'm not really trained in clinical. So then I went back to school and redid my second master's in clinical and got my doctorate in clinical. Oh, I could live 5 lives. I'd be a chiropractor, physical therapist. I wanted to be a psychiatrist, and then I could probably be a neurosurgeon. Probably anything in the medical. I just love just healing and being involved with people. Only go to talk to your friends who've gone, see what their experience was with it. And I wouldn't see anyone if I was calling to see them unless they're willing to spend a few minutes with me on the phone or to want to meet them in person for free.
Okay.
I don't say that to push NPS. I've done that way before we were doing meet and greets.
Mm-hmm.
You talk with Dr. Neal on the phone, I could be on the phone 45 minutes before you even meet, before you ever make a decision to come in and see me. I'd say that for me, growing up with siblings the night before, and sleeping and trying to catch Santa. And I got some wonderful memories of my sister and I trying to, but then we'd fall asleep and everything's there in the morning. There's so many things that we could say. You guys have a lot of stuff at this stage to even offer too, because you've already been figuring it out. Don't try to do it all. Do what you can. And you know what? Especially when you get kids, live your own expectations for your own family, not what your extended family or what the in-laws want for you. You guys come first. Oh, it's core. That's why we do a meet and greet. And if even if it doesn't work with a therapist like the one who they're seeing, we offer to them. We'll find someone else on the team. It's personality. I think you can take 5 great, competent, seasoned therapists and have different people see all of them and go, well, I don't like this one, I don't want this one, but I love this one. And I could have 3 other people say the same thing and then say the opposite of it. So I think it comes down to how you present yourself. And it's got to be a good fit. You want to feel seen. You want to feel heard. What else? You just want to connect with the personality of the person. I'm very interactive. I'm very directive. I'll tell you what I think what you're doing, what you're screwing up, what you're doing great. And if that's not the style that you want, you wouldn't want to work with me. I'm very, very direct. Neal Psychological Specialties. Because I used to be Douglas and Neal and Associates. And so it was more built around me, my reputation, and the people that were working with me. And I went through a transition back in, back 2009, 2010. And I didn't want it built on me. I wanted to have a team of people that have specialties/passions for what they're doing. So that's what we're honing with our own. We have a young team. Well, we have both. We have some older people who are seasoned, they know what they love, and we still got some people that are just fresh out of school. So they're finding out what they're good at, what they don't want to do. We want everyone to have a specialty, a passion, because it's different when someone has that love and competency and training and all the experience behind it. For a lot of years, I was working very closely with Willow Creek, and I had a lot of wonderful opportunities to work with leadership at that particular church. And I would repeatedly get feedback of, I don't understand why you're not growing a practice. It's like you're like the number one go-to guy where you have so many people that, a waiting list, whatever. And back then, I was raising Peter and Zach, and I had a house full of people like John who were over all the time. So it was just more important to be dad. And then when the kids left, it was like, what am I going to do? I'm going back to school. And I thought, I was a philosophy wannabe. I suck at all that. I just wish I was philosophical. So I thought, maybe I go back and get my PhD in philosophy, whatever. And then I thought, I know what I love. And I love doing this. I love helping people. And that's when I went off and decided to start growing the team, and it took off. My favorite part, I still love doing evaluations. It's still not a job to me, and I'm keeping an eye on that as I'm watching my peers move into retirement. I got a group of sailing buddies that I've had forever, and they've all done well with whatever they did. They either owned their own business or they built other people's businesses and were key parts. And watching what all they're doing, some of them just cut off the line, flipped a switch, and they're done. They're all looking at me like, man, you have such an interesting, fortunate opportunity here. Because one had to leave with being a pilot. So, or another person I know. So they had to retire. But for me, it's like, I get to keep my fingers here. And I still love doing the evaluations. Man, when I do it, it's like what am I don't want to say that, how do I want to put this? Because without it sounding arrogant. Because it's so satisfying. And the people are like, we've seen so many people. We met you, what you've told us here, you cracked the code. And I think it'd be so wrong to pull me out at this point. I mean, I think of all these parents that I help and these adults, and it's like, golly, why would I deny that? That sounds so self-building to say that, because there's a million other Dr. Neals. We got great therapists here. There's a lot of people doing what I'm doing. I'm not the only one doing it, and I know that. I'm not the only one doing really good work. So, but I'm one more person that's out there doing good work that's helping people get better. So I'm not ready to pull the plug on it yet. Hi, I'm Dr. Douglas Neal. I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm owner and director of Neal Psychological Specialties. We've been around for, where are we at now, about 43 years, and I got a great team here.